are you looking at? Welcome to my first attempt to live stream an edition of The Collection. Ought to be interesting, considering one hand is taken up by Mr. Microphone. I call him Konami Jr. He is Konami Jr. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Sorry, wrong movie. You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. You give me a gift. So I must do for you a favor. Yes, it has finally arrived. The original pressing pan and scan edition of The Godfather. Still need to find The Godfather Part 2, and I have The Godfather Part 3. Soon. Very soon. I don't know, maybe it's in this lot of 100 I just bought. I'm sorry. I'm never going to finish these videos. So if you enjoy watching pretty pictures of pretty laser discs, you have come to the right place. Of course, I have no room to put the things. Ooh. I've only had this for like 2 days. I have a problem with cheesy poofs. Cheesy poofs. I'm Elmo. Ugh. My mouth is too dry after trying to do The Godfather to do Elmo. Another one that has arrived. Beverly Hills Cop. See, I didn't actually buy this one or know I was getting it. I received it completely out of the blue on April Fool's Day, along with the next movie that I shall show you. If you don't believe me, I have a video that I live stream and published on April Fool's that's currently set to private. If people don't believe me, I'll make it public. It's not very good, but I had a few to drink, and I was amazed by the fact that April Fool's Day showed up at my house on April Fool's Day. Eddie Murphy thinks it's okay. And here is the movie that arrived yesterday. April Fool's Day. Arrived on April Fool's Day. This is my new favorite B movie. It is Scream, 10 years before Scream, but on April Fool's Day. I think you can gather the plot. But there's one particular individual, and until I actually watched it, I couldn't have been 100% sure. Oh, what am I doing? I have forgotten. I now have full control over the camera. Wait, who is that? Is that... Oh my God, it's Biff. It's freaking Biff. I was unaware he'd done anything other than Back to the Futures, which will be here tomorrow, along with a whole crap load of other stuff. But this is the collection, not my shit I found on my couch, which I don't know if I'm ever going to get to do again because the stuff is arriving too quickly for me to do separate videos. So they're probably just going to be included in the collection supplementals. So Beverly Hills Cop and April Fools are actually supplemental part 2. I'm just going to combine this video with the main collection video, which will be part 4. Volume 4. In a world. In a world where the Russians have invaded the United States, only the guy from Footloose, whose name I know but can't remember off the top of my head. God damn you, brain. Patrick Swayze. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? All right. Yes, Patrick Swayze. Okay. I've lost the moment. I should have just recorded this. Oh, well, live streamed. Yes, the original pressing of Red Dawn in absolutely brand new mint condition, mostly because it was actually sealed when I got it. But I had to watch it, and I sniffed it. I breathed in the air. The 1985 air. The air from the year of my birth. It was good. Next, we have one of my favorite movies and a Criterion collection. The Producers by Mel Brooks. I only have a few Criterion collections. This is one of my favorite ones. My other one that I really like is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I have a Criterion collection release of that. And look at what I paid for this. Yes, weep with jealousy and turn green with envy. Focus! You're supposed to be an autofocusing camera. Frickin' not autofocusing camera. Seriously? You're able to focus on my friggin' eye? There we go, 99 cents for The Producers. It's an early Criterion release, so it's the oh god, that's frickin' ugly style. But, of course, it's a decent transfer. Like I said, it's an early Criterion, and early Criterion was better than anything else that came out at the time, but it still wasn't as good as 90s. And it was 88, so this, I think, was still before the 55-minute CAA encoding scheme, so it's probably just traditional CLV encoding. I can actually spot the subtle difference in the tracks between CAA and CLV, which they'd never bothered to label any of the CAA discs as CLV discs. Interestingly enough, do you want to know what the very best Laserdisc, as far as picture quality period, is? Hot Shots Part 2. Preston 94 with a 60-minute CAA scheme. It looks better than a CAV. And I don't know. I think it was just a really, really good master. It actually looks better than my Japanese pressing of Star Wars Episode 1. Yes, I have it. I had to. I had to have my collection complete. Speaking of collection. Pretty woman, I really can't sing. Pretty woman, someone put me in the bin. Pretty woman. And another of my Disney collections that I paid $5 for at the Goodwill. Pollyanna. I haven't seen this in anything other than VHS format. Did this ever come out on DVD? I'm not sure. Somebody who knows, tell me. I'm not that big of a Disney expert. I'm at least on the movies. I'm more of a memorabilia expert. Speaking of which, maybe I'll show you guys my Mickey Mouse tackle box that I got for $1.50. Soon I will have the Disney version of this, but for now I have the Mary Martin Peter Pan, which always amused me as a child. Yep. I paid $3.99 at the Goodwill for this bad boy. This, perhaps the most boring movie ever. Outland. With Sean Connery. Yes. Shaken, not stirred. Get out of my way, you bitch. Suck my balls. Eat shit, shithead. I'm not drunk, I'm Scottish. Stop making fun of my lisp before I punch you in the face, you piece of shit. This I'm really happy to have. I Earthworm on the Edge. Sports Illustrated, working with Pioneer for the first time. It's actually pretty cool. It's a single-sided CAV disc. It's basically a demo disc with a bunch of cool sports stuff on it. It looks amazing, by the way. I'd say this is a really good reference disc for any early 90s player. Like if you want to check your video quality on your disc, like for motion and stuff, that nothing better than that. I mean, you want to test your comb filter, use a Wilcox and Snell test pattern. You want to check how good the motion is on your TV with your Laserdisc player. This is where it's at, because a lot of times TVs will have built-in digital noise reduction that you may not be able to adjust all the way off, and it can have smearing effects. That's just a low frame rate. I film in 24 frames. Of course, it gives it to. I'm not picking my nose and scratching my nose doing it. Bond. James Bond. Shaken, not stirred. No, I can't say that one. You will never know. I'm sorry. Ooh, side boob. Perhaps the worst of the Bond movies, because it's not really a Bond movie. There's there's a really interesting story behind this that I'll probably get into in its own video at some point. I mean, I got this for $1. So, yeah, it plays just fine. The discs aren't warped or damaged. It's just, I think it was probably stored in a wet environ, and there isn't actually any laser rot, so the discs are well sealed. But I found some discs that, like, just straight up water damaged, and the discs themselves are fine. Laser discs are surprisingly resilient, unless you drop them on their edge, and then they shatter like glass. Of course, they don't come apart, because, there's the aluminum bit. Which, the Money Pit. Good movie. I actually can't stand to watch all the way through this. Comedy of errors movies are hit or miss with me. Sometimes I can deal with it, and sometimes I just get so frustrated, like, no, that wouldn't happen. That's too far out of the realm of possibility. It just kind of, it frustrates me, like, oh, come on, they could fix that. I can't even explain it. It's just my autism. Robert De Niro, Jeremy Irons, The Mission. The most epic, boring movie ever. It's actually a really, really good movie. But I can't explain why it's a really good movie, because I can't remember much of it. I just know that it's a really good movie. There's some movies like that. That nothing stood out about it. That's what it is. It was a good movie. It was well put together. Excellent cinematography. Excellent story. Excellent acting. But it was just, I don't remember it. And I remember everything I watch, which is a problem, which is why I've gathered so many goddamn movies. Because there's only a few I can watch multiple times. And this is actually one of them, because I never remember it. So that's why I like B-movies, is sometimes they're so horrible that my mind blanks them out, so that when I go watch them again, I'm like, why am I watching this? But, it's novel experience. That's what we do as humans. We seek novelty. Speaking of novelty, I have not actually ever seen this movie. I've seen the okay remake with Lindsay Lohan. I am Lindsay Lohan. Yes, Herbie the Love Bug. Of course, at this point, it's just the Love Bug. Herbie is the remake. Yep, I haven't seen it, so I can't really tell you much about it. Came in my lot of Disney discs. I got 9 Disney discs and a lot of 12. It was a nice little score. The other 3 were All Dogs Go to Heaven, and both the first 2, I don't consider the third one to exist. Home Alone movies. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video there.